freepercussionlessons.com. We're here today to talk about the difference between legato notes and staccato notes. Long notes versus short notes. And if we want to think in non-musical terms, we can think of water flowing note to note and fire sparkling. So we have legato equals water, staccato equals fire. Just an image for you to keep in your head as you're working on these things. In music, for timpani, oftentimes it doesn't distinguish whether we're supposed to play a note long or short. It just looks like a quarter note, and sometimes we're supposed to play it short, sometimes we're supposed to play it long. We have to use our ears, maybe look at the score to find out what the other players are doing in order to blend. Now, if you're a trumpet player, you may have the same thing. You may have a quarter note with a dot over it, and you would play ta, 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 like that. It's not as clear for us as timpanists when it's written out. So we have to use our ears. And we could play legato we do play legato this way. Notes flowing back and forth. Now this is the first two measures of the exercise I have for you on the site. The next two measures is the same rhythm, but we have dots over the note, or instead of the tenuto lines that we had in the first two measures. So these are staccato notes. In order to play these, we could play them this way. We could dampen and make them really short. Now that always doesn't work because it doesn't make musical sense if the band or orchestra is not playing something quite as short as that, but you still want that staccato effect. So in order to do that, we have to learn how to play a staccato stroke, which is a lifting stroke. So we're snapping the stick off of the head as soon as it contacts. I tell my students to imagine that the drum is very hot, and you pull the stick off as soon as it touches. So I'll play that same passage now staccato style, and I'm going to play it piano because I want to make the notes speak at a quiet level, and you can really see how the staccato stroke will work. And if you can see, I'm not tense, but I am pinching. I've got a fairly good grip here, and I'm snapping up off of the drum head. Watch one more time. Okay? Now let me play the legato and then the staccato right after. Now I showed that there was another way of doing it. You could use dampening to get staccato sounding notes. If you have time, you can switch mallets and you can use something harder. So these are some Grover mallets, the ultra staccato. So these are very hard, and these, if I only had to play the staccato passage, I might use something like this. Also want the legato passage right after it or right before it. In the case of this exercise, I don't have time to switch the mallets. So I want to be able to play legato sounds with any mallet that I'm holding. I want to play staccato sounds with any mallet that I'm holding. So with these ultra staccato mallets, I'll try to play the legato at this The legato stroke is flowing, lots of round shape to my upstroke. My staccato is very sharp and snappy. So the first time I did it, I used sort of a medium hard mallet. The next time, of course, the ultra staccatos. And these are more of a general sound. So these are very good for the legato, but I'm going to have to work extra hard to make the staccato come out. So I point this out because it's important to be able to practice all of this technique with all of your mallets, because you'll be faced with the prospect of having to make a difference no matter what stick that you're holding. So here are the general sticks, sound very good legato without too much effort. Staccato. I really have to pull out to make that difference. So this has been a lesson on the difference between legato and staccato notes on timpani at freepercussionlessons.com. There'll be more to follow on this subject with a more advanced exercise in my next video. We'll see you later.